Okay guys, Chris does what, and I've finally hopefully got all the, ARS has all the bugs worked out of this. They're a Home Depot authorized contractor for AC, but this has been a big pain in the butt. So the AC is great, but I did another video on they tried to upsell. Of course, I had a 5-ton unit in my house before. I wanted to go down to a 4-ton to reduce the humidity in my house. They kept on saying I needed a 5-ton or bigger. You know, and then they tried to upsell everything. Don't let them do this to you. So just on the sales alone, they tried to upsell that. But working with this system, you know, first off, here, these wiring, which I guess I'm gonna have to get tie wraps on my own and tie these back so they're not just hanging out there. But before, they had all the wiring that was in here poking out the top. So it looked like a freaking mess. And I wasn't gonna have it. You know, someday I wanna have a clean garage, and that wasn't gonna work. Then, the breaker size that they put in for this, they didn't change the breaker. So I had to call them back out here to change the breaker size. And that's just the start of it. I have a stack of tech receipts where they continually came out to repair things. So the thermostat, this is a ream. So with the ream, it is not like the other, I guess, ACs they're used to. So the heat pump works differently, and they didn't set that up right. So I turned on the AC, and it would turn on the heater in my house. Not a good thing. Heater worked great when it was really warm outside. That comes to the rest of my story. The heat in the wintertime would not heat. So when it got cold here in Florida, I was freezing my tail off. The outside unit was freezing up. And of course my emergency heat didn't work because the coils in there were broken. They've replaced so many pieces in this thing, but they were broken. So I was freezing. So I kept calling them out here. I called one guy, they sent out one guy, and then he said, oh, I've changed this. I don't know what's wrong. I can't fix it. Let me escalate this. A week went past, and I finally had to call him back and said, guy, y'all said you were going to fix this. He said he was escalating it. Week, I'm still freezing my ass off. So they then sent another guy out there who really sucked. But he also took my thermostat, the actual one that I finally worked with the vendor of the thermostat to get to work. So I had the vendor come out and install the internal thermostat because everyone they put in wouldn't connect to Wi-Fi, which it's a Wi-Fi thermostat. I want Wi-Fi. So did that, and then that guy took it. So he took the thermostat, sucked, and he put in a thermostat that was very antiquated, you know, it looked like from the 1970s, and still no heat. Freezing my tail off still. So I called him out again, said, your last guy took my thermostat, and he didn't fix it, and he left everything in shambles. So another guy came out here, and he said, oh, we need some parts. So, okay. And he said, well, I'm gonna rig it so at least you have heat until we can get parts in the system. Well, sure, okay, well, heat was good, but when he rigged it up, the unit would turn on heat, it would never shut off. So now I'm coming out to the garage, turning the breakers off because it's getting up to 85 degrees in my house. It feels like a sauna in there. I'm like, beach day inside, but that didn't work. So, you know, he didn't come back out. So I called him again and said, are y'all going to have somebody come out here? And so they sent another technician. The next technician came out and he fixed it where the heat shut off, but then the unit would go back to freezing up. So if it got too cold outside, if the unit ran too long, it'd freeze up, no heat. Back to that scenario. So finally, the guy who came out here and originally rigged it so it would heat, he came out here, worked on it for quite a few hours, got it working. So now I have heat. So that's my review of ARS service. They are persistent. They'll continue to come out here with some prodding to fix it, but I don't think they're very professional or technically responsible. So if you want to use Home Depot's ARS service, just be forewarned. If you have problems with the system, improper installation, things like that, you may be calling them over and over again. In the summertime, you may be cooked out of your house because it's not working right. In the wintertime, you may be freezing. But they are a larger company and they are tied to Home Depot, so they are responsible to come out. So guys, hopefully this helps. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this video, hit that like button. It's right down there somewhere. Looks like that. And if you have comments, feedback, ARS, if you have any feedbacks, just leave it down below. Y'all please take care.